Hello, and welcome to Super Great Kids Stories. Wise tales from storytellers around the world which will make you laugh and sometimes cry. Recommended from ages 5 to 105. I'm Kim, and I love stories. This tale I'm going to tell you today is from Iraq. Have you ever had a hard time getting people to listen to what you want to say? Well, in today's story, there's a clever little rooster, or some of us would call him a cockerel, who is being ignored by a selfish, greedy king. What would you do if you were a little rooster and you wanted someone to listen to you? Have a think about it while we have a quick word with the grown-ups. Hello, Super Great Kids. It's me, Kim again. Did you have any ideas? How can a little rooster get a selfish, greedy king to listen to him? Oh, yes, I hear some of you saying he could try getting his attention with a loud cock-a-doodle-doo. Hurrah! We can't tell this story without your help, so get ready with your crowing and we'll see if we can help that rooster. And now, here's this week's tale, Rooster Finds Gold. Ready? Mouth open, story, jump out. Long ago, when animals could talk, there was a clever, brave little rooster who lived with a kind old woman. Old she was and bent over, and though they had very little money and even less food, they had a lot of love for each other. Every day, Rooster would strut down the garden and spend his time scribbling and scratching in the dirt looking for food. Hobble, 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 scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch. Hobble, 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 scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch. One fine day, he was scritching and scratching around when he spotted something sparkling in the soil. He hobbled over to take a closer look. Hobble, 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 scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch. Hobble, 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 scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch. And oh my goodness, can you guess what it was? Yes, it was a solid gold coin. Now, he was just thinking about all the food that coin could buy for him and his kind old lady. Corn and nuts and rice and worms and noodles and cheese and grain and, of course, more worms. When the king of the country happened along. The king was proud, the king was loud, the king was very, very greedy. He was wobbling along and singing his song. I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the king of everything. Will you help me? I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the king of everything. When he spotted the coin. Quick as a flash, he scrambled over the fence and ka-ching! He plopped that coin into his pocket. The rooster threw back his head and crowed. Ready? Cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo! That don't belong to you. Now give it here, give it back. You won't sleep till you do. But do you think that a king would listen to a humble little rooster? Why, no. He clambered back over the fence, stuck his nose in the air and went on his way, singing his song. I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the king of everything. I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the king of everything. That night, the king took off his velvet gown, slipped on his pink silk pyjamas, hopped into bed and was just nodding off to sleep when, guess what? Cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo! That don't belong to you. Now give it here, give it back. You won't sleep till you do. What? Guards, come here right now. Take this ridiculous bird away. I'm trying to sleep, roared the king. A guard arrived, grabbed the brave little rooster by his neck, ran down the garden and threw the bird into the well. Whee! Splash! Glug, 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 glug. But do you think that was the end of the clever little rooster? Ha! You're right. Not at all. He opened his mouth wide, 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 and he drank all the water in the well. Not much later, the king was fast asleep and snoring like a pig. He was having a lovely dream about an ice cream sundae which was piled high to the top of the sky and covered with chocolate sauce. The king was trying to slurp his way to the top where the cherry was when all of a sudden, cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo! That don't belong to you. Now give it here, give it back. You won't sleep till you do. What? Sweet and gentle jelly babies. Guards, come, take this wretched bird away. I'm trying to sleep, roared the king. 2 guards came running in, grabbed the brave little rooster by its neck, ran into the kitchen and stuffed the bird into the oven. That'll teach you, shouted the guards. Now we can have a nice roast bird for dinner. It was dark in that oven and hot, hot, hot. But do you think that was the end of our clever little rooster? Ha! Not at all. He opened his mouth wide, 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 and out came all the water from the well. And do you know, it put out all the flames. Later, when the guard came back expecting a nicely cooked bird for dinner, out popped the rooster and jumped over the guard to the open window, where he made his escape with a triumphant cock-a-doodle-doo. Later that night, the king was fast asleep and snoring like a bear. He was having a lovely dream about flying towards the seaside over his many palaces. Beside him was a flying picnic hamper stuffed with delicious royal food. He was just about to land at a long white beach when suddenly, cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo! That don't belong to you. Now give it here, give it back. You won't sleep till you do. What? Sweet and gorgeous gobstoppers. Guards, come now. Take this wretched bird away. I'm trying to sleep, roared the king. 3 guards came running in. They grabbed the brave little rooster by its neck. They ran into the garden and stuffed the surprise bird into the royal beehive. It was dark in there and full of bees buzzing. Can you give me a bit of buzzing, please? Bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. But do you think that was the end of our clever little rooster? Ha! Not at all. He opened his mouth wide, 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 and he swallowed all the bees in the beehive. Later, when the guards came back and lifted the lid on the hive, out popped the cockerel and jumped over the baffled guard and onto a nearby tree. From there, he made his escape with a triumphant cock-a-doodle-doo. Later that night, the king was fast asleep and snoring like a cow. Moo. 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 He was having a lovely dream about owning all the the sweet shops in the land. He was strutting about, saying to all the baffled sweet shop owners, "I'm the king. Will you help me? Ready? I'm the king. I'm the king. I'm the king of everything. I'm the king. I'm the king. I'm the king of everything." When all of a sudden, cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo, that don't belong to you. Now give it here, give it back. You won't sleep till you do. What? Sweet and lovely lollipops. Guards, come here right now. Take this ridiculous bird away. I'm trying to sleep, roared the king. 4 guards came running in and tried to grab the brave little rooster by its neck. But the clever little rooster, the brave little rooster, this time was ready. He was too quick for them. He flapped his wings and flew in circles round their heads. The guards kept jumping up. They knocked over the royal throne. They knocked over the royal table. They knocked over the royal vase. They even knocked over the portrait of the king. Then the brave little rooster, the clever little rooster, you know what he did, don't you? He opened his mouth wide, wide, wide. And do you know what came out? Bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. Bees, hundreds and thousands of them, fuzzing and angry, buzzing and busy, stinging and stabbing at the guards. Ow! Not my nose! Get off! Ow! Not my toe! Get off! Ow! Not my bottom! Get off! And can you imagine the rumpus, the noise, the hullabaloo which erupted in the king's royal bedroom that night, with all those guards sobbing and wailing about their stings? "Stop!" shouted the king. "Guards! Go to the royal treasury, fetch that gold coin and give it back to that wretched rooster, or I'll never get any sleep ever again." And quick as a flash, the rooster was clutching his precious gold coin in his beak. And before you could say bee's knees, he was strutting back into his own front yard. Hobble, 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 scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch, hobble, 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 scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch. And what do you think he did with that gold coin? Why, he gave it to the kind old lady, of course, who was tickled pink and went off on a big shopping spree. She bought corn and nuts and rice and worms and noodles and cheese and seeds and, of course, more worms. And they both settled down to a phantasmagorical feast. And they ate and they ate and they drank until they were happy and jolly. And as far as I know, they're happy and jolly to this very day. And now this story is yours. Snip, snap, snout, that story is out. I love a happy ending. I wonder what you'd do if someone took something of yours and refused to give it back. Would you crow like a rooster? I wonder if you could try telling that story in your own way to a friend or a grown-up. Thanks for listening, and a special big thanks to those of you listening in Sacramento. And thanks to Carla in the US, who gave us a lovely review. Thank you, Carla. Her grandson Tucker loves listening to our stories in the car. His favourite is Toops, Why the Whale Has a Sad Song. Do tell us your favourite story. Ask your grown-ups to tell me on Facebook Messenger or on Facebook. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/supergreatkidsstories. If you'd like to support us and help us to find new storytellers, you could make a one-off donation to kofi.com/supergreatkidsstories. Or you can now subscribe on Apple Podcasts, where you can listen ad-free, get early access to the next story, and get one bonus story a month. And don't forget to review us on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you. See you soon, and keep telling those stories.